team that prioritizes stuns a lot lower than other teams, and they tend to just play off of execution and tempo, and whooping you in the lane so bad that you don't get to play.
All right, March, what are some of the other heroes that you think now have to be in consideration, especially from Liquid's side?
PL, do you think possible? Like PL is pretty decent against these two heroes.
For Liquid's side, I think there's still a Draw Ranger where Draw Ranger and Nature's Prophet is really good together with Vengeful Spirit. But I guess they'll be banned out from the Evil Geniuses here, most likely, or they take it themselves.
Do y'all remember what Sumail has played in the last several games besides Alex Storm and Tiny? No, besides those. Yeah.
Because Winner was quick to jump on that one.
I actually cannot remember.
10 seconds.
I think that was a TA game. I remember him playing TA.
Yep,
okay,
there was a
right.
TA
that was
for a counter pick.
The OG game that they lost, the TA game.
Yep.
Because, I mean, I really like Liquid's bans. They ban the Storm, they ban the Alchemist, they ban the Comfort Zone hero, sort of, and say, EG, give us a different look. We've seen, Storm and Alchemist plenty of times. What else do you have? Because I think Liquid is very happy if EG picks the Tiny. That's a hero that they pick almost never themselves and almost never ban as well. They are very confident playing against the hero, I think, and don't think the hero is particularly strong. So I think they may be saying, pick it. I dare you.
Fair enough. I mean, trying to pressure. That's something that I think a lot of teams perhaps shy away from a little bit just because of EG and Sumail, and there's
Terrorblade soon, I guess. They are really liking Prophet Terrorblade as a team. They like to pick those heroes together a lot, and Terrorblade. But Terrorblade doesn't really lane that well against like the Wraith King Dark Will. He's gonna have problems in the laning phase, I think. But he's a direct counter matchup against the Spectre.
Don't you also think the PL is pretty good against the Wraith King and Dark Willow as well as the Spectre?
Yeah, the Spectre PL one's like kind of a two-sided matchup, but it's most definitely good against the first two. I think the Spectre pick's kind of interesting in that Liquid ban the Alchemist and the Storm, which are both like traditional counters to the Spectre, so they kind of like turn the bans around on Liquid a little bit, I feel like, and saying you ban two counters to the Spectre, we ban the Necrophos, so she'll have a little bit better of a lane, and then we pick the Spectre, so thanks for banning those for us.
Using it to EG's advantage. Brew coming out for Team Liquid.
So we are seeing the Nature's Prophet on position 5 most likely here. Thinking the Brewmaster is going to be position 3.
Do you like that now? Or do you prefer him on the core or more?
I think it kind of just depends on how they think these lanes play out and how the support matchups work. I'm not exactly sure how these supports play into each other, but I think that's the biggest thing is how they think these support matchups play against each other.
So once again, EG favors this Lich. I've been thinking about this Lich pick for a bit before, because we talk about the position 5 heroes. If you're looking for a team fighters, you usually talk about the Wyvern and the Phoenix, and Lich somewhat falls into a similar category, but on top of things, you're not as weak as like the Phoenix or the Wyvern. They're not that weak, but they're not as good in the laning phase, whereas Lich is really good in the laning phase. So maybe looking for that balance there. So that's the TV here, the direct counter towards the Spectre, but his laning phase is somewhat a suspect here. I'm not sure if he's going to have a decent laning phase, but on the other hand, he does have the position 5 Nature's Prophet to secure the lane for him. Do you think that's going to be enough with the Prophet? He's going to be able to get decent, like 50-50, break even in the lane, 50-50?
Yeah, I think it should be pretty good. They have like really, really strong level 1 between the Treants and popping the meta on the first few waves, so TV should have like a decent enough start. And he'll get his stick and whatever else he wants. Furion can kind of just play suicidally in this lane, and if Wraith King Willow are going to combo him, it's fine because he can just port back in, bring more regen to TB, and I think they should do fine.
So I guess Matu needs like a core that can hold the game for the Terrorblade. He's Necros ban, Venos ban. The other hero that I'm thinking is maybe the Pugna, that he also likes to play a lot.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a spooky Pugna game though, into like Spectre and Willow and these heroes. Like it's not even particularly good against Wraith King, and if the game drags out, then you can kind of just become like useless food against the Spectre.
So what are the options that you like more over the Pugna? DK, so.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. The like the traditional ones that these like mid heroes, they don't have that many counters. Like this Clinks and Necrophos are banned. The TA is not really a Matu hero. It also pairs pretty poorly with Liquid's draft. They kind of want some catch, but you can't pick like an Ember or a DK here because you're gonna get too hard countered in the lane on this 10th pick that you just won't have a game and you won't actually be catch because you can't move around and do anything really.
I mean, don't you just ban Husker if you want to DK? Like, what
Yeah,
are the
there's
other
still, like Monkey King that's pretty abysmal. That one's like DK can't get past level 3 really before he gets kicked out the lane. I guess the Pugna could be decent because it is does sort of fit into that category where it doesn't have very many bad lane matchups.
Kind of have to pick your battles here for Team Liquid on what you want to focus on for this last pick. Of course, EG having the very last pick of the draft.
It's a little problem for Liquid because Matumba, man, is not really the classic mid laner Miracle is, and then like looking at his hero pools, like I can only imagine like DP or Lina, or DK, and then they don't seem so good in this draft here, including the Pugna that you guys mentioned as well.
Well, it seems like Team Liquid discussing the similar conundrum that we've mentioned.
I mean, that's the issue, not having the last pick here. That's why I feel like I would rather be on the last pick team, and it could make a huge difference if you can come up with that hero, which I felt Liquid didn't really utilize that well the last
Unfortunately, I mean, they had that advantage, wasn't able to, painted themselves into a corner before they could even utilize the advantage. And here they are being forced to make a choice.
You can tell it's very, very difficult for him. They are taking a long time.
Wow.
Oh, that is good. That is way better than a partner. So you have a break to deal with the Spectre dispersion. A pretty decent laner. So what are the hardest counters right now, Quinn, for the lane?
Bloodseeker is pretty abysmal for Viper. There's like your traditional ones like Sniper and Lina, these long-ranged heroes that can kind of just get their stuff and be okay. And then are also pretty good in the game because they're so long-ranged, and Lina's really mobile.
How about the Timbersaw? I've seen like Timbersaw lane against Viper, even though he breaks your reactive, but as long as you have the armor already stacked up and you block the creep, like you can tank the creeps and just tank the damage. And Timber is also quite decent against the Terrorblade later on to the game. I don't feel like they have enough burst to kill the Timber. That's what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, it could be an option.
So,
But you're more leaning towards the long range heroes to deal with the lane.
I think so. I think this is Bloodseeker's not banned.
If Peter is asking you now, what hero do you want?
What hero do I want? Probably.
That's a good way to think about it.
I think Lina's pretty decent. It gives them some building damage, which they kind of lack right now. It's good against the majority of the heroes. This Furan can be a little double-edged because you can get ported on and die, as evidenced by our game 3. But I think overall it's pretty good. It gives them some hero that's mobile, can move around, do stuff.
But there's the Timbersaw. All right, winner.
What a boss.
Calling the shots here. Well, there we have it. Two heroes that weren't quite discussed in the earlier drafts, but coming out in full force. This is going to be game number 2 between these two teams. Team Liquid currently looking to come back and make it a series. And before we go into game, we have a chance to get a little bit more insight into Team Liquid as Casey awaits with Heen.
That was a really great first game. It was really, really close. What kind of adjustments are you making, especially when it comes to the draft we just saw?
Well, I think it's kind of funny because the first game, there were a lot more heroes unbanned. Basically, we expected them to ban different heroes, so there were a lot of different heroes, and we kind of weren't prepared for that scenario, and we ended up with a lineup that isn't like the classic Liquid lineup. But despite that, we played really well. I think we could have easily won the game if we made better decisions. And this time around, we stuck to more, Liquid-esque heroes. So I think this time around, we're going to feel much more comfortable.
Best of luck to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting ready to get into game number 2 in this elimination match. And to bring you the action, we return to Capitalist and Blitz.
That's right, Evil Geniuses are up 1 game, and our last picks have changed the draft pretty dramatically. We had a Viper and a last pick Timbersaw. It seems like both teams are trying to get that extra little edge in at the very end of the draft. But Blitz, where do you think it actually fell in?
I kind of like EG's draft. I feel like they have a good answer to the Vengeful Spirit, which I think is one of the better heroes that we've seen at TI. She does so much for you. She has a build that you can go for as a fort position in the Aghanim Scepter. The minus armor, the laning phase of her is very strong. But I think the Ledge actually does a pretty good job at dealing with that with the Frost armor.
We're going to have to see whether or not Matumba Man with his Viper is going to be enough to be able to keep the Timber Saw down. As that they tried. They were like, what's the last pick going to be? Well, we're going to go ahead and grab a Viper to see if we can shut Sumail out entirely. It's funny because this matchup does host two of the best mids in the world, right? We got Miracle on one side. We've got Sumail on the other. Though Miracle is going to be playing the Terrorblade in this game.
And Liquid 1 game away from elimination. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Being defending champions is not easy. Every single target on your back, and EG, they could do it with Arteezy, home crowd at his back.
Especially Evil Geniuses, right? After losing earlier in the group stage, they said they learned a lot, and I'm sure they continue to watch Liquid games as they made their way through that lower bracket. We are going to be having bottom lane. It's going to be Brewmaster and Vengeful Spirit GH Mind Control duoing up to see if they can put some pressure on the Spectre that is going to be playing by Arteezy. Of course, he's got the extra balancing acts of the Fly Lich, which is going to be able to sacrifice and pull the lane back, which will make it a little bit harder for that Brewmaster. Our mid lane matchup, we talked about a little bit early on, is going to be the Sumail Timber Saw, which Winter said he actually called out that pick, said it actually is not that bad against the Viper, despite the break that is provided by Matumba Man and his Nether Toxin. And then our top lane, we do have the aggressive lane from S4 Crit, Dark Willow, and Wraith King. This is a kill duo trying to keep Miracle down in his Terrorblade, but Kuro and Miracle are going to try and do a battle here for this Banner Rune, see if they can secure that extra little bit of gold at the start of the game, and they will.
Yeah, they're going to get 3 out of 4 here, so early lead from them. And this is the combo that we saw Mineski actually just lose 2 games in a row with.
Yeah.
Put Ice 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 on this Wraith King. Let's see if EG can kind of right things for themselves.
In theory, it's supposed to be a really good duo, right? Because you've got a setup stun into the brambles. You've got a lot of physical damage you can lay out. Crit. Interesting position here. Curl, because the creeps don't aggro right away, looks to be able to put some pressure on S4, but Evil Geniuses had that all planned out. They managed to get the early Ray Fire Blast into the brambles. Curl's going to be blocked out and will be your first blood, S4. The aggressive duo of S4 and Crit strike the first blood and make a extra good start for their laning phase.
Yeah, mid lane, predictably, I think Sumail doing just fine. It's rare that we see him just outright lose lanes, and this lane is not that bad for him. Like Winter said, the break mechanic doesn't really come into play until later on, and he should just be able to tank up most of the damage once he gets aggro on himself with the creep wave. So it's going to be the other lanes that we turn towards.
See the breakdown here, the Spectre. It's going to be feeling that pressure, the Brewmaster, being a melee hero, being in range of that clap. You never really know when you're going to be gone on. That's why you could see Arteezy always trying to pull the lane back into himself. And the Lich will be able to help out with that.
Oh, look at that forward to block the dagger onto the range creep.
And so because of that, they'll get the deny. They're already having an experience problem because of Fly throwing down the sacrifice on those range creeps, so they've got to kind of even things out a bit. The Glyph will be able to slow down the Lich and his progression into more sacrifice as well as the Lich armor, which is going to help Arteezy survive against all this harassment.
Top lane, Miracle getting gone on here. He's starting to get pretty low.
Dangerously low, just bursted down by the Shadow Realm. You can see Kuro just really can't leave Miracle alone for long, but he doesn't provide a disable or anything, just purely harassment with the Treants. But once they decide to throw out that Ray Fire Blast, there's little he can do to stop him. The attempt at a dagger again for the range creep, missed by Arteezy. Mind Control snags the deny.
Arteezy's not even doing that bad. He still has 7 CS, doing just fine for himself. And they need this bottom lane to go better on the side of Liquid because of how hard top is getting hurt.
In comparison,
early on.
Miracle did die early, but he is second in CS right now, 12-2. And again, that's thanks to the space that Kuro's trying to buy him, just running Treants down the lane, trying to get that harassment in against Crit.
Yeah, they got to be comfortable trying to win the regen war. As Miracle still has 6 tangos to work with, the Treants are going to eventually push things in their favor. So Miracle just has to be a little bit more patient here because they have no real way of getting kills themselves in this lane.
Right.
Unless EG really mess up. So it's going to be bottom lane that they're going to hope pays off for them.
The Wraith King really not doing too well in CS either, sitting at 8-1. just the kills more than anything. They aren't going to be able to pull the lane back. That's going to make things hard for Miracle. GH gets a little bit out of position here against Arteezy. The dagger. Mind Control gets next to him, though, just to make sure there isn't that extra Desolate damage.
Yeah. There is very good news for Liquid fans because I think that Mind Control should almost always be able to get his ulti off.
Yeah.
He would have to severely mess up in this game not to be able to get it off. Or he'd have to blink into a Terrorize. Like, Crit would have to really outplay him from the fog.
Jumping forward, trying to get close enough to Fly. Will manage to get the magic missile. Follow-up clap. Fly is going to be able to get the blast onto GH, maybe giving up his life underneath the tower. Mind Control's not able to get that kill, and now the two of them are dangerously low. GH getting body blocked a little bit, does hedge the stick, turns around, gets off another magic missile, but Mind Control and GH, they still have another full minute until the Shrine is back up, so that loss of that HP is really going to hurt them and all the pressure they're trying to put onto Artur.
Yeah, and it looks like the regen battle is going to be won by EG down here, which is going to help their lane quite a bit. That's why GH going to make the rotation.
Trying to go for the kill onto Kuro, but S4 is taking a ton of physical damage. They do finally finish up that support, but losing S4 in return. Miracle with the Metamorphosis pushes back Crit as well. And look at the Treants trying to get in position to block him in. Fortunately, Crit is wise to that. We'll just TP out instead.
And S4 just trades out a little bit as Matama Man trying to deal quite a bit of damage here to Sumail. Sumail still 25 CS, doing just fine in this mid lane when it comes to that.
Yeah. You said this is about the time that you're going to see the Viper really trying to put the pressure onto that Timbersaw. First stun coming out onto Arteezy. Kuro is actually going to TP in, lending a helping hand. He needs to be able to get to the trees, but thanks to Kuro cutting down some of those trees, there's no quick escape for the Spectre.
And that is going to hurt things a little bit. As EG going to try to reset off of this Kuro. Can, of course, just use a teleport scroll up to that top lane. And this is the benefit of having a support Nature's Prophet, is he can be everywhere. It doesn't cost you anything to make these rotations. You're not going to sell out your safe lane player. But instead, he's going to make that rotation towards mid lane. They do know it's coming. You saw the line has been drawn by Fly.
Yeah.
Sumail doesn't seem that concerned, though, about a Nature's Prophet making a rotation.
Yeah, it's just more physical damage. There's no stun, there's no heavy burst of magic damage, and that would be the two things that would actually threaten a Timbersaw. So I'm not entirely sure what Kuro is planning here.
And top lane, S4.
Reflection, now the TP
Kuro's
coming out from Kuro, managed to get the treants in front of S4. Look at those body blocks, managed to eat through the tree though. S4, thanks to the Quelling Blade, does manage to get a little bit distance. It's going to be a close call, but the Curse Crown, Kuro had to stay away from that one and will miss out on the kill on S4 as a result.
Ooh, I feel like they should have been able to get one of those, but they split targets. You saw GH went on a crit.
They will Shrine together though, so really no momentum lost for S4 and Crit. They immediately smoke up and are going to try and push into the high ground here.
Maybe a kill on Miracle is possible. He still doesn't have meta. Liquid, they might not anticipate this as S4 trying to find the angle around. He's going to lead with the stun. Here comes the Skeletons.
He gets the Skeletons into the Rayfire Blast. That way the Skeletons target Miracle with this magic damage from the Shadow Realm. It will be enough to burst down Miracle.
And the crit for just good measure as Sumail pushing Matama Man out of this lane so far.
Yeah, Sumail, look at him. He's just getting damage onto that mid tower now.
He's got 4 levels of the reactive armor. It's so hard for Matama Man to do anything about this.
Lane, they're going to go for the kill on S4, who's only level 5, so the Metamorphosis. Yeah, good job with the treants. Just making sure he's not going anywhere. Gives the kill to Miracle, who really needs that kind of recovery.
And Sumail mid.
Viper strikes. Sumail doesn't have an easy way out of this one. Goes for the TP. And will make it. There is no Shrine there. But fortunately, he had a lot of reactive armor stacks, so he'll actually heal up a lot before he returns to lane.
Gonna run into crit here. Immediately dodges it.
And he has 10 magic stick charges. Apparently not afraid of GH now the magic missile is gone. That Metamorphosis is gonna wear out soon. That's why Miracle wants to put the damage onto this offlane tower as soon as possible, but EG gonna try and shore up this area. Trying to go for the kill. They manage to get the stun, the Rayfire Blast into the brambles. Miracle gets a stick off. That's a little bit of an HP. Magic missile as well. 2 more shots from the supports. That's gonna be enough. They managed to get in now. The Sprout locking in crit as well as Fly. The 2 supports of Liquid trying to battle through in a 2 versus 3. Managed to get one of them, but now with the Shadow Realm, it's almost enough to kill Kuro. With the Curse Crown on the other support, Crit managed to get that killing spree onto Kuro and walks away with the extra spirit. The damage. Ooh, the spirit fades just in time.
Kuro does have TP though. Not sure if he's gonna go for the snipe or not.
That would be a pretty wild play. Doesn't look like it. Mind Control is getting close to level 6 now. So he might try for a kill onto Arteezy with that extra bit of killing power.
I'd like to see them rotate Crow down here with his TP. Once he hits 6, does have it available. He's going to wait for Arteezy to commit a little bit more to the creep wave. He doesn't want it happening around that tree line because Arteezy will just pop that wand, immediately dagger downwards.
Right. That's why Kuro really helps out by being able to kill some of those trees.
You see he's just waiting to see if Arteezy does push forward at all.
Brambles actually snagged him. Immediate TP out from GH. Gonna be close call though. The magic damage is too much. That Shadow Realm. Crit has picked up so many kills that he is actually over-leveled at this point. He's level 5.
He's level 5 and he's already got the components of Yules coming out. That's going to be a very good way to deal with Miracle as the rotation from Matama Man.
Great scan by EG. Spots that, but Kuro is still going to go for the kill here. Actually,
get out of
in, spots Arteezy. Arteezy pops the ultimate. He can
ulting
jump wherever he wants. He's going to go for mind control. He doesn't see anywhere else to go because everyone else is inside the dire base. So Arteezy, he had nowhere to be able to run to.
Liquid, they get a huge kill. They needed some sort of pressure onto Arteezy. They brought so many heroes down there. Getting there and not getting a kill would have been a huge disappointment. They did lose mid tower for that. And Sumail gonna TP down here. You do not want to go on this guy.
Right now, this Timber Saw, he's the indomitable force. It's very hard for Liquid to be able to challenge him, but they're gonna go for it.
They're gonna try.
Master Ultimate, Sumail. He does not have a quick way out of here since he TP'd in. He's going to be controlled up. A lot of magic coming out from those Brewlings thanks to that Fire Panda. And sure enough, he dies just like that. He thought he could actually hold that tower by himself. After being able to take the mid-tier 1, he couldn't be more wrong, though. And Liquid, at least they'll be able to even out the objectives. Getting a kill on to Sumail was just an added bonus.
The seeds of fortune.
Is Kuro gonna run into the courier? Immediately gonna TP out. So S4 just continues to push that top lane.
Free regen rune for crit. It's like nothing ever happened.
And
he dodges it. Regen stays alive.
The all chat immediately after. And Crit's feeling this game right now. 4-0-3. He's been a part of every single kill on the side of EG.
He does have the Bedlam. This is why Miracle's staying underneath the creep wave to make sure that that Bedlam damage is going to be split. If he had isolated himself there, he would have been run down and maybe would have died. S4, thanks to the fact that he has reincarnation or can level it, he can just aggressively push in the top lane until somebody from Liquid addresses his heavy farming.
And Liquid, they are going to bring heroes up here. They're smoked up. GH doesn't have the ult though. He sees Crit on the low ground, but Crit would be the worst target. He can always just Shadow Realm TP, and that's why Liquid immediately going to give up on this. And a gank attempt foiled by Crit's great positioning.
The double wards that they have aggressively placed it in that area to be able to see the kind of heavy rotations that would be required to kill that Wraith King.
And I like this. What they're trying to do is they're protecting the Wraith King's farm more than they are protecting Arteezy's farm. I think they realize that the Wraith King is going to be their mid-game hero. As look at
by
this
himself, that Bedlam doing so much damage. Tries to juke it out. The Shadow Realm will finish him off. TP away, and they have no stuns. So Crit will be fine. He kills the support and gets the space.
Still a part of every single kill on his team.
That is incredibly impressive.
You need all-star performances like this to win games at the International this late in.
Yeah.
And he is showing off at this point.
Blink Dagger being built by S4. Sumail continues to push in this bottom lane. He's working towards a Bloodstone, going to be slowed down here. Now he does have Timber Chain, so we'll be able to get some distance away with Brewlings. Will run him down. First comes the stun, next comes the Magic Missile. Now he's super tanky, but it looks like with that extra damage coming out from Viper, he doesn't really stand a chance.
It's just going to be another death for him.
It's heavy commitment every single time by Liquid, but seeing as Sumail has farmed up so much, it's really worth it.
Yeah, it's a costly death every single time. He's second in net worth on his team. That's going to pump up this Viper quite a bit. We're used to seeing Matama Man sacked for the most part, but in this game, he's going to be really farmed.
And they have a tower advantage on Evil Geniuses, yet it's Liquid who hold the net worth lead.
And I think the biggest difference...
Crit does it again.
GH,
he's got to know there's a ward here now, but the Curse Ground goes out. He will manage to get a Sunder onto Crit, so he should fall. Good Sprout Trap there from Kuro.
But still, look at the space that he's made. Back-to-back deaths onto GH in the same exact spot.
Yeah, but he gave up 441 gold to this Viper. Matama Man, who is already top of the network chart, is 4-0-0.
And EG, they're just going to continue to farm. It's similar to last game, but the difference, I think, what Heen said in their lineups is that Liquid have some ways to get to the late game and play around it. They've got Miracle on this Terrorblade. I think they respect his ability to 1v5 late game.
The Terrorblade versus Spectre matchup is one of those really interesting ones, right? Because the Spectre is kind of looked at as the classic big late game hero. Crit is going to try and go for Mind Control now with the Cursed Crown. It's going to be a pretty close call with the Shadow Realm not quite doing enough. Mind Control managed to run away. The Terrorize comes out now, but Miracle dodges it, gets the kill. The dagger comes out. That's not enough to be able to kill Mind Control. They swap away, trying to get him away from Sumail as quick as possible. Now Arteezy actually jumps over to Kuro, but he will be able to TP out. Sumail has to retreat, failing to be able to get the much-needed kill onto Miracle.
Arteezy surveying the field, stuck up there for a second, but now going to come down. Did throw a dagger into that brew. It's Mind Control, he's almost got Blink.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire are scanning.
That Blink dagger is going to be very massive because Liquid were kind of missing that sort of great initiation. Of course, Evil Geniuses will be able to get the same in S4. Kuro TPing in from behind, will be able to get the Sprout onto Fly. Now just needs to keep the Treants in front of the opposing captain. Will be able to do it for a while. Mind Control now blinks in. Looking to be able to turn it around with the Chain Frost, but there goes that Brewmaster ultimate. The Rulings come out and are now hunting for S4, but he's already blinked away deeper into the trees.
Yeah, he's gone high. They are pinging around that area, but no way to get there. So they're going to give up on that chase, and instead they go for the TP bottom, waiting for Sumail, who still doesn't really have a defensive item. Has to be careful, but Miracle just picking up bounty runes instead.
Crit is always hunting in the enemy jungle, and now he's going to run into Mind Control, manage to get the Cursed Crown. This is going to be a big-time kill, snagged by the Brambles as well. Here comes that Bedlam, and Kuro actually trying to tank up some of the damage with his TP info, with S4 finally showing himself. This could be bagged. They managed to get the Sprout onto Crit with a big hit from that Wrath of Nature. Now S4 is the one who's in no man's land here. It's going to get swapped back into that shrine, not right next to Miracle. A blast comes in. Kuro's already dead, but Miracle, he still wants this kill on S4. Managed to get that Sunder out. An easy pickup for Miracle. Top of the network chart now at 7K.
And EG, all three cores, continuing to play away from each other. They're just trying to get as much farm as they can. It doesn't look like they really care that they can't approach team fights. They're approaching this game similar to the way that they did last game. But I feel like Liquid, they have better ways to control, they have better team fight, and they have an all-encompassing late game hero. But we did see the Terrorblade lose against the Spectre.
Yes.
In the previous series alone, so can't really rest on that.
Fly gonna run into a double damage Matumba Man. That's gotta hurt. They won't be able to do much with that as S4 and Sumail are approaching mid. That mid tier 1 is a little low. They do not want to give up that tower advantage they currently hold over Liquid.
That is the benefit here for EG, is that they haven't lost this mid tower, so map control is still in their favor. Arteezy still able to farm relatively easily wherever he wants. He's got a big item flying towards him in the Yasha. That'll help his farm speed by quite a bit. Maybe they can even start to get him a little bit more involved. They do have the Blink Dagger on S4.
Found Matumba Man. He was already low. Now he's going to be hit by the Cursed Crown. The Bedlam running down the Shadow Realm. A big-time streak. Picked up by Crit. Last time around, he gave the Viper 400 gold. Now he reclaims that big kill bounty. 922 gold to him.
I honestly kind of forgot that other EG heroes exist. Because Crit 7, 3, and 5 has still been a part of every single one of his team's kills. He's been getting it done in this mid-game while his team is greeting it up. They haven't really had a react because he's sort of just done it all.
Yeah.
He's found some hordes, he's found cores.
First, he starts off with the aggressive wards and plays inside the jungle. Then they get some sentries down to make sure there's no extra vision right next to those shrine areas. And Chris just being able to play entirely free.
They're going to back up. They want to try to just run Liquid around, deny the fights, allow Arteezy to get farm. This is the strategy that they want to employ. And so far, so good, as he hasn't been touched, but on the flip side of things, you do have a Terrorblade that is farming a lot faster. They're working towards the same goals, but Terrorblade's going to get there a lot sooner.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Evil Geniuses invading into that off-lane jungle, the common triangle of farm, and that's exactly where Miracle is. They're going to throw everything they have at him. Make sure he doesn't get an opportunity to sunder. Now with the Spectre pop the ultimate as well, seeing the rest of the Liquid heroes, Sumail does not want to go down into that low ground. They're happy with just the simple pickoff that they got, especially with all the items that are rolling in, and now Sumail getting his first Bloodstone charge of the game.
Sumail still holds this high ground area. Liquid, they're waiting for Miracle to be up before they take any sort of fight. They should be aware that there is a ward here as they find another catch here.
They're going to try and save Kuro. GH is coming in, but he's going to be far too late. It's going to be in the mid lane where they start going in for S4. The Brewmaster ultimate already out, and S4 burned out.
Sumail's got to be careful here. Panda does spot him. Everyone's starting to come in.
Tornado into the drop down, into the stun. Matumba Man's a little bit far, and he's actually going to go for the tower instead. They're just going to try and push Sumail back, take that objective, but there was still a glyph available, and now Liquid have realized they may have overextended themselves. They can't get caught here. Evil Geniuses, they do bring Crit in a long-range Bramble, snags Matumba Man. But instead, it's going to be a deny on that mid tower.
Instead, Miracle just going to go back to farming these ancient stacks. He's so far ahead of the rest of the pack.
It's funny, Evil Geniuses, they saw that big ancient stack, and I think that's in part why they wanted to be able to take over that area, but they don't have anybody be able to farm it, so. Miracle takes it for himself. You were talking about the farming speed.
Crit, if you could find him here, he's got the Yule Scepter. They have so many ways to kill him if Crit gets on top of him.
Yeah, without the Manta, he can't dispel that Cursed Crown. They spot him
he sees
now. And Miracle trying to run right through him, not going to be able to make it out. The Cursed Crown into the Terrorize again. Has to deny the Sunder at all costs.
And Crit getting the last hit for that. Very well deserved. He almost has a Blink Dagger on top of that Yule's.
Holy cow. He just had the Yule Scepter too.
Yeah, if you click on the cores right now, Arteezy is 0-2-1. Timbersaw is in a similar position. They were only really a part of that one kill.
Meanwhile, Crit has picked up so much that he's actually keeping pace in net worth with the Brewmaster.
9-3-6. This guy has turned it up for this game. He knows that his cores can't really help out, so he's just getting it done by himself.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
With Miracle dead and a push coming in the top lane. Evil Geniuses try and pursue through mid. They actually knew that GH was going to be sitting here in the back line. They will be able to catch him once again. Crit just cannot seem to stop. He will be able to pick up that kill. Maybe no. He actually gets stopped the TP. GH lives with stick charges there, and looks like Crit finally got a bit too aggressive.
But if they can get the Roshan here, he might have just bought them enough space to do this instead. And this would be a big pickup on EG. Their team doesn't really take objectives the best.
Certainly would. That Chakram. And the physical damage is allowing them to do a lot of work here. And it seems like Liquid have no idea, so that's going to be an Aegis for the Arteezy Spectre now, who also has his Manta complete.
And surprising that they were able to be the first team to pick it up.
Yes.
You wouldn't expect it out of their lineup. That's why Liquid had no idea that this was happening. And instead, they're going to just reset, allow Miracle to just pick up farm.
It's funny how in the match between these two teams, the net worth difference between the two really never extends too far one way or the other through the laning phase. And it goes to show how evenly matched these two teams are. Dual Scepter now for Sumail. Give him even more survivability. Crit setting up at the bottom lane. His team might want to mass TP in if he gets a good Terrorize in. Has to be careful though. Shadow Realm will dodge the Magic Missile. Cursed Crown taken off by the Manta. They take the tier 2.
They're just going to go for the trade instead, as similar to last game, both teams not really willing to engage as
the flick of the high ground. They have the vision. They're going to be able to catch Kuro. The TP is coming in. The Glimmer Cape's not going to be enough to save him. Mind Control is going to slow down S4, who on this high ground area is going to be kind of tough. The Spectre comes in. He immediately goes for GH. He does have that Aegis, but doesn't want to lose his life. And Miracle. He died on the left-hand side. GH tries to be able to get the kill in and finally managed to kill S4, but that's not good actually. It slows them down, but Man's going to turn and fight. Then throw the Viper Strike onto S4. They will be able to claim that second life. Mind Control comes back in immediately. Cursed Crown into Yule Scepter into the Brambles. He's going to be taken out of this fight. It's a Matumba Man they want to be able to focus down. In the meanwhile, while Sumail, he'll deal with that strength hero. Mind Control hit by another Brambles. A Terrorize was still available for Crit as well. wiped out of existence. Liquid.
This is right in front of their base. They still have the Manta. They still have the Aegis EG. They're going to consider continuing to go forward. It's Miracle going to spawn in 12 seconds, but that's a huge win for them, especially on the Shrine side of Liquid. They didn't burn the Aegis for that either.
Dire's middle tower
As
is under
Sumail
attack.
climbs his way to the top of the net worth charts.
21 Bloodstone charges for Sumail's Timbersaw. He is just going to be out of control now. With all that mana regen that he has, he could just constantly stay on the map farming.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Diffuse a Blade is going to be coming in for our TZ pretty soon, as well as his level 3 ult.
Dire are scanning.
So the Blink Dagger going to be completed by Crit. It's going to be a big item pickup for him. And he's very easy to watch in this game because he's been setting up everything for his team. Everybody else just filtering in behind him as Liquid. It's now their turn. Doesn't really seem like they know where to take the fights.
It does kind of seem like they've been letting Evil Geniuses set the pace. What does Liquid need to do to kind of take control of this game again?
I feel like they need to be more active with this brew split. It feels like they were way too content allowing Miracle to just farm hit creeps. They're getting lulled into sleep by this EG team, and EG just comes up with bursts of aggression. That's why these games feel really weird, where you see a lot of kills, but you don't really see team fights, because that's why EG, that's the way that they want to play. They want to just be able to pick you apart, get 1 or 2 kills at a time, never engage you in straight 5-on-5s. And I think Liquid is so used to that 5-on-5 style.
Top tower has fallen.
Crit, going to be hit by the Viper Strike before he can actually get the Shadow Realm off. That's going to be a lot of damage over time, but he still has the Yule Scepter. Yules goes out. They actually get a Yules onto the Viper as well. He managed to blink himself away.
He's just going to get out and reset things for his team again, as Sumail doing the same. Drive by Yules to save his support. And this is what I mean. EG are just frustrating them. They're running them around the map, not really giving them the opportunity to get into these straight-on fights.
They will get 3 out of 4 of the bounty runes, though, for Liquid. And they do have the Nature's Prophet. I'm presuming part of the reason they grabbed this support Nature's Prophet, is because of Evil Geniuses and the style of split pushing that they presented in that first game.
Oh, absolutely. They wanted a hero to be able to catch the waves, push them in, because that's all really EG's going for.
Yeah. And then they also have a lot more catch than they did last time with the Vengeful Spirit as well as the Brewmaster.
And look, again, they're just trying to find this one-off pick-off, and they might do so.
Terrorized. They don't want to let him get off the Primal Split. That's going to be all important to blow up this Brewmaster, and they do manage to get him. Now Matuma with his BKB. He's down. He's trying to go for his support, but so much physical damage. The swap back, Matuma Man heading to the Shrine, activates it now, but Evil Genius are still in hot pursuit with the Curse Crown into the Yule Scepter, straight up route. S4, he'll take down Matuma Man with the help of Crit. 4 dead once again from Liquid, as it looks like even Kuro was caught by RTZ.
They're doing this right in front of their base. And so Sumail gonna force out the buybacks, 2 on the side of Liquid. And now it's a 5K lead. This is what I'm talking about. Never give Liquid the ability to get into this 5-on-5 fight with this brew split. Keep splitting them apart, finding 1 hero, 2 heroes at a time. EG's doing such a good job of that in consecutive games.
Liquid finally pick up the BKB for Miracle. That's a significant show of power for them in these next couple of team fights. But as you're saying, they're not actually getting any of those team fights. Liquid just getting picked and split pushed apart constantly. And Evil Genius is always there to collect when a hero gets a bit out of position.
And this is what Liquid does best. They force fights on you. They outplay you in these team fights. They out-spellcast you. You give GH the ability to make big plays. Well, if you take that away, you run them around the map. You make it frustrating for them to take any sort of engagements. Crit just goes around finding solo pickoffs.
Yeah.
If you don't give Liquid the ability to team fight, it severely hampers them as they're going to go on to Sumail.
Oh no, he actually threw it on Yule Scepter. He managed to get the chain through, taking off that Yule Scepter. Still going to be caught though. Thankfully, the Viper very strong against that Timbersaw with the break mechanic.
Had the Bloodstone deny, but opts not to use it.
Thought that maybe he could get out in time, but we'll be coming back pretty shortly here. Thanks to all those charges he racked up. And Evil Geniuses, they have so much catch. Look at how Kuro, okay, he's got the Glimmer Cape and Dark Willow. I think Crit saw the TP in, maybe, of the Brewmaster.
Yeah, GH is here.
Might still get caught. 3 seconds till the blink is up. Sprouted in, and an Urn is going to be able to stop him. He has the Shadow Realm, but they just need to be able to get AoE damage to prevent that Blink Dagger from coming up. The Terrorize is going to be thrown down. No, it's not. Liquid Now it's their turn to be able to get a couple pickoffs. Now they can actually push out some of the lanes. Unfortunately for them, no Roshan available just yet.
Yeah, Sumail and S4 trying to keep their streaks alive right now. They want to be able to be the first team, first two players to repeat as TI champions, and Liquid trying to keep their hopes of being repeat champions alive too, as Miracle has the BKB. They want to take this fight now. Any sort of pickoff, and I think Liquid's just going to go for it.
Yeah.
They're getting frustrated around the map. They don't want to play this style of EGs where they just get one kill at a time, get picked apart. You have to press the issue at some point in this game.
But it seems like now is not the time, with the top lane pushing into their base. Bottom tier 2 is being threatened as well. They do spot S4. This could be a really good pickoff, but S4 has already retreated deep into the trees. They have the vision down, and Kuro knows about that because the skeletons started aggroing onto him. He was the closest hero available on the map, so he knew the ward was there. They take it out.
S4 still a little bit reluctant to TP out, but Kuro sends out the trees a little bit too late, and EG gathering up around this Roche Pit area. They want to just continue this style, frustrate Liquid, don't give them the ability to 5-on-5 against you.
And playing those sides of the map, that is really important part of the way Evil Geniuses is split pushing, right? There's a reason that S4 was a little bit hesitant to to just TP out. You've got to maintain constant pressure on those sidelines, and being able to hide away into the trees and dodge the attempted ganks is an integral part of that.
Yeah, if anybody's going to hit neutral creeps, it's going to be RTZ. If you're the Timbersaw and you're the Raid King in this game, you're just going to push sides out.
Not to worry, everybody, as we're going to give you the audio cast now as Liquid.
Yeah, they're roaching, by the way.
They're sneaking into roach shot, guys. Don't worry. You're not missing anything important.
Just trust us.
30-minute route, swap back in, Fly. He managed to get the Chain Frost out. We'll be able to bounce around. The Terrorize controlling up mind control. S4 is right in the middle. All these supports managed to blow up Kuro already. Now with the BKBs activated on both Miracle and Matumba Man next to the shrine, they will be able to take down the first life of S4. Arteezy, he came in with his ultimate, activated his BKB, but he's being beaten back by Miracle. But now, with that magic immunity gone from the BKB, Miracle's going to be a little bit exposed. The magic damage
Miracle,
coming in hard. He's
Sunder.
Yule Scepter out. He needs to be able to get the Sunder down. He can't quite get it. He's going to be executed some mail.
They
Set
find
up
mind
beautifully
control.
with the Chakram. Now mind control's going to be gone as well. That's 4 or 5 dead from Liquid. And now they're the ones heading into the Roshan pit.
As EG, they pick up 5 heroes. Kuro goes for the buyback. They're up 8K now. They're going to get the Aegis and the cheese. Aegis going to go the way of Arteezy, and another team fight win for them. Starting on their terms once again.
Aegis for Arteezy.
They are inching closer and closer to this win. Fly gonna run into Kuro.
Fly has nothing to stop him.
Gonna throw down the sentry ward though, and get the D ward off almost immediately. Sumail called himself king once, but you gotta knock off the defending champions if you want to hold that title.
11,000 gold lead. Evil Geniuses getting very close to being able to secure that 2-0. After such a tremendous win around that Roshan pit, they're now going to be able to take that remaining outer objective into tier 2. But breaking the high ground, that's going to be a different kind of task for Evil Geniuses. This Team Liquid, they do have some pretty good high ground defense. You've got the swamp back there, the Vengeful Spirit, the split pushing power of the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, but you don't want to be in this position when you have the aggressive lineup.
Yeah.
The only person that's really going to scale into the late game in this game is this Terrorblade. Viper, not the best hard-hitting core, especially not against Liquid's, against EG's heroes. 12K down, 31 minutes in. That feeling of dread is going to start to stick.
S4 going to try and go on Matumba Man. The Terrorize comes out, preventing the BKB, and so much
jump forward.
Now Arteezy's going to look for more. Goes for GH, activates the BKB of his own. Yule Scepter going out onto GH, holding him in place long enough for Sumail to be able to get there and help Arteezy claim the kill. Now they're going to go for the tier 3 with the skeletons out. They do a lot of pushing power.
And Kuro going to try to catch the wave, do whatever he can to hold on. But Liquid, they can only watch as EG hit their racks.
That is going to be the first lane. Liquid now going to come in with mind control, but no! Yule Scepter, can they burst him down? The Brambles are out. He tries to get the ultimate. He's gone. No primal split, no buyback available. Miracle's going to have to do it all by himself, but his illusion's already gone. And Miracle himself has to retreat as he knows his BKB timing is limited. With no allies to support him, he has to watch Evil Geniuses take not 1 lane of Brax, but now 2.
And Liquid, they can feel their hopes dwindling. This crowd, they sense it. EG 17K up, 2 racks.
The EG chance have begun. Look at Samael. He immediately tries to TP up to that top lane to prevent any split pushing from Miracle.
They're playing for the win here, trying to get these mega creeps. Liquid, what is your response?
20 seconds until the Brewmaster is back up. He is so important to be able to take the team fights for Liquid. Evil Geniuses, will they stick around? They have the Aegis still on RTZ. They can
just
make
gonna go
Liquid,
back
now
in.
they're gonna jump in with the side device. They managed to grab a Tumba Man, and they will be able to take him out until the Thunder. Miracle, he makes a ball. He doesn't have to up, but the Terrorize coming in. He managed to mantle, force tap in, back to the fountain he goes. He will be able to regen up, but Matumba Man just cannot be saved. He gave him the extra life, but it didn't seem to matter. RTZ will drop the Aegis now. Liquid, they need to control this carry. They need to take him out, but Samael's already jumped in, looking to be able to get the kill on the curve with the pullback of the shotgun. Will be able to take him out, swap back, and RTZ still managed to find Miracle. He buys back, but now GH is dead as well. It's only Miracle and Mind Control trying to stand their ground with a primal split. Samael comes in, trying to take away all these Brewlings. Their damage is going out onto Samael right now, but still, S4 on the front line. Will manage to get a shot on Miracle. He's going to die a second time. The BKB activated. S4 is almost dead. Mind Control's trying to finish him up. RTZ's also low, but Mind Control has no damage. Cut down by the Timber Saw. The Whirling Death takes the Strength Hero down to size, and now the Raxes are exposed. The Tier 3 is gone. Mind Control buying back. At HHB, managed to get the clap in, and RTZ a little bit low. He just gets bursted down so quickly. The side, now the reincarnation slowing down. Miracle tries to turn on. Down and changing. It's called Liquid. They fall to Evil Geniuses. EG hold true to their promise that they would. 2-0 Liquid on the main stage.
EG securing themselves a top 3 finish at minimum. They're going to move on to fight against a PSG LGD squad that they 2-0'd in the group stage, and they might just find that rematch against OG that they're waiting for.
Unbelievable, such a dominant performance by Evil Geniuses. It seems like they truly did figure something out. A way to be able to beat Liquid, their split pushing greedy style that Evil Geniuses has been known for years. They cracked the code, figure a way to make it work here against Liquid. Nothing but respect and hugs between these two competitors as Liquid, respected worldwide, has so many fans behind them. They were the champions last year, and they look this year to make it the 2-time, but Evil Geniuses, they denied that opportunity.
And Sumail and S4, they keep their hopes alive of being the first to repeat as